If you were a Canadian kid between 1958 and 1985, chances are at some point you watched The Friendly Giant. This show, which aired on CBC, was a Canadian institution. Now it's long gone, and Bob Homme, the star of it, who also improvised most of it, over the course of 3,000 episodes, died in 2000. But there are many kids, especially my age and beyond, who still remember looking up, way up, to The Friendly Giant.
Look up, way up, and we're on our way to the castle. I'll hurry over first and go in the back door so I can let the drawbridge down and open the big front doors for you. Are you ready? Here is my castle.
Beginning in Wisconsin in 1953 on the WHA-AM radio station, The Friendly Giant debuted, and before long, it was on the local television station. It was there for 5 years until CBC executives saw it and were impressed by it. They asked Bob Homme, the creator of the show, to move the show to Canada, and it was there the show not only took off in popularity, but became an iconic piece of the Canadian landscape. Running in spans of 15 minutes, every episode began with the panning of a detailed model of a village as the Friendly Giant talked. Then he would say the magical words of look up, way up, and he would invite everyone to his castle where he played the harp and recorder. Rusty the Rooster and Jerome the Giraffe would visit through the window and chat with the Friendly Giant. Most of the show was completely unscripted, something that was actually very uncommon for children's shows at the time. The gentle nature of The Friendly Giant was also a big part of why the show was so popular among Canadian children. The show remained the same for most of its years on television, unlike many other shows that changed things up. Rod Coney Bear was a puppeteer and voice actor for the show, where he performed the roles of Jerome and Rusty. From the 1970s to the 1980s, The Friendly Giant played between Mr. Dressup and the Canadian version of Sesame Street. It all came to an end in 1984 when The Friendly Giant was cancelled after deep cuts to the CBC. There was a strong opposition to the cancel, and Fred Penner's place, which replaced The Friendly Giant, was often referred to as the Giant Killer. The last episode of The Friendly Giant aired in March of 1985. A Globe and Mail piece in December of 1984 was highly critical of the cancelling of The Friendly Giant. The opinion piece stated that this was an exceptional component of Canadian television, and one that will be sorely missed. In all, 3,000 episodes of The Friendly Giant were created. Several items from the show are now in display at various museums throughout Canada. As for Homme, who was born on March 27, 1919, he was made a member of the Order of Canada in 1998 and died at the age of 81 in 2000 of prostate cancer. While he was called the Friendly Giant, it's interesting to note he stood at 5 foot 11 inches.